Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be doing my episode review for episode 614 of AMC's The Walking Dead. Before I start blabbering on and on, of course, please be warned that this video will be full of big, massive ass spoilers regarding what just went down in tonight's episode of The Walking Dead. If you are not caught up on The Walking Dead, if you haven't seen this episode or the last couple of episodes, please do not keep listening or watching this video, as I will be discussing big spoilers. You have been warned. This is your last warning. Once you are caught up on The Walking Dead, please come on back and listen to this review video. That being said, wow, I mean, yikes. You know, for a while there, I felt like this episode, I don't want to use the word drag, but for the most part, parts, not the whole thing, but parts of it felt like it was kind of dragging. And I thought to myself, you know, we haven't really seen any serious shit go down yet, which means they're either saving it for the end, or this is going to be a calmer episode, like the calm before the storm. But no, that was not the case here. So what we saw was like, you know, I don't know if there's been much of a time jump between this episode and the last one. I don't think there has been. Eugene did get a new look, a new haircut. So I don't think there's been much of a time jump, and things seem to be going pretty okay in Alexandria. Denise wants, Rosita and Daryl to go on a scouting mission with her to find some potential drugs in a nearby pharmacy. Eugene and Abraham go off on their own scouting mission together. Excuse me. Excuse me. My apologies. Where was I? Yeah. So we've got two separate scouting missions. We know what Daryl's group is up to. We really don't know what Eugene and Abraham are up to. And what's interesting is that we haven't really seen these two in an intimate setting together, just the two of them, for a very long time since, you know, their little fallout from last season when Eugene lied about being a scientist and knowing the cure to end the zombie apocalypse, and Abraham almost beating him to death because of it. Obviously, their relationship has somewhat healed, but still a bit strained. So it's interesting to see those two reconnect in both good and bad ways, because they did trade insults with each other. Eugene insisting he was a strong, hardcore survivalist, and he was kind of a prick. It was kind of a douchey move to tell Abraham your services are no longer required. So Abraham's like, fuck you, asshole, I'm out of here. But up until that point, I really liked Eugene's idea of turning an old industrial plant, which looks like, I'm guessing, a steel mill or something, and using that to make bullets, to make ammunition. That's brilliant, because if you need to keep trade going with between Alexandria and Hilltop Colony, you got to have something to trade with. Because sounds like so far the deal is still intact. Both sides have been honoring the agreement. And, Eugene pointed out there's going to be the supply and demand of the deal, and why not make our own bullets? And Abraham is genuinely impressed up until Eugene starts bragging that I don't need you anymore, I can take care of myself. And then that's when Abraham's like, fine, screw you, man, find your own way home, I'm out of here, leaving Eugene alone. By the way, very, very cool walker being covered in hardened metal. It seems like what it must have happened is that the walker probably wandered into a big open tank or a vault of, hot, liquidy metal. It fell in, or at least dipped its head in, pulled itself out, or maybe it fell into the whole barrel and then the barrel spilled out and only like the head of it hardened, because it's like its whole skull and head was super... it was like pure metal, except this part of the face right here, like, except for the immediate face, like the eyes, nose, and mouth were the only vulnerable parts of it, because like even the neck and the side of the head and the forehead was all, hardened from the metal. Very, very cool. I love how they keep coming up. What I love so much, one of the things I love about this show is the things they come up with for different walkers, like how, like, we see how walkers died, or we can guess how they died or what happened to them, and then like the aftermath, the what they become after they're dead. And in this case, we saw a metal shelled walker, which was very cool. what else was happening? You know, Denise was trying to prove herself to both Daryl and Rosita. She can take care of herself. She can do this. You know, she's ready to be out in the world on a scouting mission. She lost her nerve a few occasions. And she did, however, find that particular soda that she wanted to get Tara as a couple's present or something like that. Not necessarily an anniversary present, but she found the soda after single-handedly taking down a walker by herself, recklessly but successfully. And what I also liked about it is that, you know, she's becoming a stronger character. She's really trying to toughen up for her sake, and for her friend's sake. And you know, and I love how what I liked about this episode is like the one scene where they're on the tracks and she's basically kind of lecturing them, like, look, eventually I'm going to become as tough as you, and like, because you two inspire me and by your actions and your personalities, I'm trying to be like that. And I think that's really reaffirming and reassuring to both Daryl and Rosita to know that somebody admires and respects them both and is trying to become a lot more like them. I always enjoy seeing secondary, not as developed characters admiring and giving advice or like meaningful words to bigger, stronger supporting characters, and that was really enjoyable. And for, you know, and I thought there while she was talking on the tracks, I thought to myself, oh God, something's gonna happen. They're either gonna get attacked by walkers or the saviors. Somebody's gonna get shot. She's gonna get shot. Sure enough, arrow through the head, specifically the eye socket. And then, oh, what was so creepy was that she kept talking despite the fact she had an arrow through the back of her head, and it's like it hadn't even registered with her what had happened. And then she hit the ground, and sure enough, who pops out of the woods, outnumbering Daryl and Rosita, the saviors. And who's there with him? Eugene as a captive, and a familiar face, the man who stole Daryl's bike way back in the first half of season 6, when he and his wife stole Daryl's bike, leaving him without a vehicle. It's the same guy with his side of his face burned, badly burned. And sure enough, the fan theories and the speculation turned out to be true. He is the character Dwight. I won't go into details for those of you who are not familiar with the comic books, but Dwight is a very big character in the world of The Walking Dead, and now it has finally been confirmed that, yes, D, as he went by in the episode where he was first introduced, D is indeed stand for Dwight, because he even says mockingly to Rosita, I'm D, or you can call me Dwight. Of course, Daryl recognizes him and knows exactly who he is. And, oh my God, this was such a great scene, because I thought to myself, how the fuck are they going to get out of this? Or are they not going to get out of it, and all three of them are taken directly to Negan, and they're his prisoners? And then sure enough, oh, there's Abraham hiding behind the oil drums. And then Eugene's all like, oh, you know, kill that asshole behind the oil drums. We see him over there. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Are you really that angry with Abraham? But then I think, no, Gene's not a sellout like that. He's up to something. And I'm so happy that I did not see this coming or know it was coming, because apparently this scene was taken directly from the comics, where he goes, ah, and he bites down on Dwight's crotch, and he's just biting him. I was like, oh, I was like, oh my God. And I laughed and gasped and shocked at the same time. It was like amusement shock, for the lack of a better word. And oh man, that was so great. And then of course everybody opens fire. Several saviors are killed. Rosita and Daryl kill a couple of them, grab their guns, and there's some gunfire exchange between the saviors and our characters. And eventually Dwight, while limping and holding his balls, is like, retreat, retreat! And he and his remaining men get away. Abraham joins the others. Poor Eugene is shot in the gut, and we don't know how bad it is, but he is alive. And the team mournfully looks on as they drag Eugene away and see poor Denise there left dead in the tracks. Fortunately, it was just a wound on Eugene's side, no serious damages. In fact, some of the medicine and antibiotics they raided from the pharmacy that Denise knew about helped save his life, so in turn, Denise helped save his life. And oh my God, Abrahams has some of the best lines and one-liners on this show. And my old favorite used to be back in the season 5 finale when they're addressing the people of Alexandria, not to kick Rick out, and he says, Rick Grimes is a man who's like, he says, there's a vast ocean of shit that you people know shit about. Rick Grimes is a man who knows every grain of said shit. He has so many great lines. And then my new favorite is, you know how to bite a dick, Eugene. And I mean that with the utmost respect. Oh, God, that was funny. Oh, man, it was still sad. We're still reeling from Denise's death, which was really shocking and sad. But God damn it, that was funny when Abraham said that to Eugene with such sincerity and such a straight face. God damn it, that was funny. Oh, man. I'm still laughing about it. Oh, boy, Eugene really stepped up tonight, and I loved it. And I think he and Abraham are back on much, much better terms with each other. And I guess what I had suspected was happening in the last episode happened in this episode. Carol simply cannot take the bloodshed anymore. It's just becoming too much of a burden on her shoulders, her conscience, whatever you want to call it. And so she leaves Tobin a note because apparently she and Tobin are an item, as we saw them kissing earlier in the opening scene. So sorry to those of you who've been pining for the Daryl Carol romance for so many years now. I'm very, very sorry, guys, but it looks like it's not gonna happen since obviously Carol and Tobin are or were an item, because now she's ditched Alexandria, leaving a note to Tobin saying, I love you all, but I can't kill for you. I won't. If I end up staying, I'll end up killing, and I don't want to do that. She just can't stand all of the carnage anymore. Just no more killing, period. And what else was also interesting about this episode is that it seems like Rosita has already moved on since Abraham walked out on her. And sure enough, as I suspected, she is sleeping with Spencer, Deanna's son, the last surviving member of the Monroe family. He and Rosita obviously slept together. Like I said, we don't know how long of a time jump there's been here. And how long it's been since the last episode, so this is probably fairly recent or like a few days later. Obviously, they slept together. Rosita just doesn't really seem that interested. What she seems interested in doing is, like, she's mad at Abraham, so in a sense, she's taking it out on Spencer by sleeping with Spencer in hopes to probably make Abraham jealous or angry, because she doesn't really seem that genuinely interested in Spencer, except she just wanted to bang him and then be on her way. But who knows, maybe eventually she'll develop real feelings for him or something. I don't know. I wasn't that surprised to see that it was him in that bed, because I had been thinking to myself for a while, ever since the start of this season, I'm like, you know what, if the relationship between Abraham and Rosita really does deteriorate and end or fall apart, I have a feeling that her next romantic buddy is going to be Spencer, because they've had a lot of screen time together, they've worked a lot together, and they've become close and they've become respectable acquaintances. And now, sure enough, it happened. They banged. So overall, great episode. The first part of it did stretch for a little bit, but it was a very amusing, intense anecdotes. And of course, just the last 15 minutes were like, whoa. I mean, that was, wow, great episode. Very, very good episode. Very much enjoyed. I think I really like Eugene a lot more now, obviously. He was hilarious, as were Abraham's one-liners to him. Man, it was funny. Poor Denise, didn't see poor Denise go, and now, of course, they'll have the unpleasant duty of informing poor Tara when she gets back from her scout mission with Heath. So, oh boy. And now they've got Dwight and his men to worry about. Well, they're all part of the Saviors, but now they know that he's out there. And Daryl's probably going to have a lot on his conscience right now, because, it was his crossbow Dwight used to kill Denise with, and in turn, Daryl probably feels somewhat guilty or responsible for that, for losing his crossbow to Dwight when he stole it and the motorcycle from him. But on the plus side, at least he got his crossbow back. I don't know. But overall, fantastic episode. Really, really liked it. Really liked it. I hope you guys liked it too. Thank you so much for watching another episode review for The Walking Dead here on the EdWord. Don't forget, guys, we only have 2 more episodes left. Next Sunday and then Sunday, April 3rd, the dreaded Season 6 finale. Who's gonna die? What's gonna happen? That was my Home Alone moment there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel for more reviews and more recaps like this one. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? Please leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's please keep it civil and respectful of one another's beliefs and opinions, of course. And thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend and get off to a good start tomorrow morning, as it is Monday. At least on the plus side, you'll have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice to look forward to on Friday. All right, guys, have a good one, and thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.